Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Mariana, and sorry, the little foster kitty is playing on the cat tree because I'm with the cat tree right here. He's going at it. He's having a grand old time. But you might be able to hear him. Anyway, I'm Mariana and I'm distracted. And I like to talk about plants. So thank you for joining me because it'd be super weird if I was just talking to myself and no one was watching. So thank you for that. If you cannot tell, I have the black lipstick. I have the squid skeleton. We're going to be talking about goth plants today. So, Pam from Pam's Pretty Leaves did a goth houseplant collection video. I did not know about her channel until recently, and her video actually popped up on my YouTube recommendations. I have never clicked a video so fast. I would not identify as goth, but I love black. I have a black soul. I have tons of black clothes. My mother actually tried to do an intervention and throw away a whole bunch of my black clothes when I was in 8th grade, 7th grade, something like that. I was not a happy camper. But anyway, talking about goth plants. It's October, it's almost Halloween, we're about a week out. So that's what we're gonna do. I look pretty good with black lipstick on. I do, but it's hard to wear it every day. I'm wondering how this beer drinking is gonna go with this on and how fast it's gonna wear away. So when I think about goth, I don't just think about black, moody. I think about gothic architecture. It's one of my favorites. It's so intricate, so detailed, it's beautiful. I think about Halloween. I think about the spooky season for goth. So the plants that I'm going to show you today are kind of fit in that theme. So they're not going to be all black plants because even though I love black, I actually don't have a lot of black plants. I know a lot of begonias and calocasias, I think that's how you say it. They can come in. He just climbed up the cat condo and he's sitting on top of it. Oh, speaking of goth though, let me just show you. This is Benji. And he's so cute. And he's a little black kitty. He doesn't like to be held. He likes to roam free. So okay. Say hi to Benji, say bye to Benji. Okay, go explore. I know. I don't know what I was talking about. So the plants I'm gonna show you today just aren't all black because I actually don't have a lot of black plants. A lot of black plants that I've seen have been begonias. I think there's a calocasia, if that's how you say it. That's black, that's beautiful and gorgeous and I want it, but I know I'm gonna kill it, so I'm not going to buy it because I thought I was getting good enough to get begonias, to get those more, what are you doing? To get those more needy plants, and then I was very wrong. I killed them all. So when I show you these plants today, just keep in mind of goth, black, moody, gothic architecture, Halloween, spooky season. Just keep that in your brain. But of course, before we get to the video, I'm filming the video. Before we get to the plants, I gotta show you the beer that I'm gonna be drinking, or the drink of the video, which is a beer. And I'm going to tell you the only reason I bought this beer was for the label. The label has penguins on it. Oh my gosh. Penguins are my favorite animal. I love penguins so much. And my husband pointed out this beer to me when we were at Benny's. And I mean, thank God it's a West Coast IPA, thankfully. But it could have been a sour and I probably would have picked it up still because you better believe that I'm keeping at least one can and I'm gonna make a planter out of it. One day there will be a plant in this can. Maybe not this can specifically, but one of these cans is gonna have a plant in it. All right, so let's get this open. Let's taste it if I can open it. I'm not used to having something on my lips. So I'm kind of It's beautiful, beautiful. I know another word besides beautiful, I swear. color. Smells delicious. It's cat's nuts, you guys. Okay, so the tasting notes, of course, it's an IPA. It's an IPA, so it's citrusy, but it specifically said tangerine. I said that weird. Tangerine and mango. I get tangerine. What? Am I saying tangerine weird? I don't know. I can taste the tangerine. I cannot taste the mango. It's citrusy, it's sweet, but it has a nice bitter finish, and it's good. I mean, maybe I'm just being biased because it has penguins on the label. But this beer is good. And it's 6.9 ABV. Which is pretty good. Actually, I might just keep this can. I'll just put it over there so I don't throw it away. Okay, let's get to the Goth plants. First one I think is one that pretty much everybody thinks of when they think of Goth plants. A Goth plant. My Raven ZZ. I love ZZ plants, but Raven ZZs give me so much trouble. So not only is it a black plant, like you can see the new growth when it comes in, it is yellow like regular ZZs, but once that new growth matures, it does turn this beautiful dark color. But for some reason, like, these are so moody for me. This used to be a much bigger plant. I've since split it up into multiple different plants, but it's too thirsty, it's too wet, just can't make up its mind. It's a little bit of a diva, in my opinion, but it just looks so pretty. I can't get rid of it. So good. Look how dark and beautiful it is. All right, so first one, pretty standard. I don't think that people think of for Goth plants is the Raven ZZ. Next one. This is kind of sad, okay? It's kind of sad looking, I know. Entirely my fault. I left this, what was once a beautiful, lush Syngonia Maria in front of a drafty window for multiple days. So all of the leaves just dried up and freaked out because it was too cold. There is still hope. There is new growth coming out of here. I will eventually clean this all up, repot it, but I've been lazy and I haven't done it. But I'm pretty sure I have a picture of what it used to look like. And Syngonia Maria, the foliage color is a not very dark, but it's like a brownish hue. And while not completely dark, it just gives me like Halloween vibes. And it's a beautiful color, and I'm sad I'm not going to be able to show you how beautiful it actually is, but I hope that it will come across in the picture that I will hopefully find and include in this video. The next one I picked because it reminded me of the Gothic architecture. And that is a fairy tale cactus. When I just think of the fairy tale cactus, I think of fairy tale castle cactus, because to me this plant reminds me of a castle, and when I think of a castle I just think of a Gothic inspired castle, spires, intricate detailing, stained glass windows. So like this fairy tale cactus, although it's not a dark color, that's what it reminds me of, and so I'm including it in my Gothic plants. Before we even started, did I mention that I saw this video from Pam's Pretty Plants? And I thought it was a great idea, and she said to use it as a hashtag. And that's why I'm doing this video. I hope I did. Well, I did now. Thank you, Pam. Smash the patriarchy. This is not the best looking plant. I have such struggles with Chinese Evergreen. This is a Chinese Evergreen chocolate, and I'm at the struggle station. with them. They're supposed to be like pretty much right up my alley care-wise. They like to dry out. They can handle lower light, etc., etc. Everything that I've said before, but like I've had one of these before and I killed it. I think because of root rot that I was watering it too much. So right now I'm like trying to really cut back on my watering with it, especially because I have it in a lower light situation. But it's still not doing great, guys. But the reason I picked this one is because this, like the way it is right here, unhealthiness and all, reminds me of a Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Although, I believe Stranger Things didn't make up the Demogorgon. I believe it's from Greek mythology. Don't quote me, but I'm not taking a test. So, that's what it reminds me of a Demogorgon. When I see it, like where it is, I look over, I'm like, oh, Demogorgon vibes. So that's why I picked this one. I'm sorry I'm not taking care of you that well. This next one actually is a black, very dark foliage plant. And I can't say the name. I'll try. If I can find where I wrote it. Chrysula. Is that a Y or a V? I can't even read my own handwriting. I think it's Y. No. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And yeah, right up here, it has really dark foliage. They're not spiky. It's a family in the Chrysula family, also the Jade family. And I just love this plant. I actually bought it off of Etsy, and when it came in, they looked like 2 lumps of coal. That plant, plants, because there are 2, so dried out, so dehydrated. It was actually my first time ever trying to water prop something, and I would say I was pretty successful. This plant just gives me all the gothy vibes. How spiky it is. I'm sorry if that's being stereotypical, but it reminds me of like the mohawks that I would see goths wear, and then just the dark foliage. It just appeals to me. The kitty likes to play with the blind cords. He doesn't eat them, so that's good. But he just likes to play with them. You still doing okay? It's such a good video, buddy. Okay, oh yes. This next one was inspired by the Halloween-ness of it, or at least how, like, in my mind. Anyway, it's this, so this was a braided Sansevieria. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's in the Sansevieria cylindrica family. I don't know if there's a specific kind. Let me know if you know. I'm always willing to learn more, and then I can label this guy properly. Did I have a label on him? Oh, I have a tag. What did I put on the tag? I just put Sansevieria cylindrica, so well. Anyway, on to the point of why I picked this one from my goth planty video. It reminds me of a sea monster. Like, a sea monster, or if you like Lovecraft, it can remind me of like what Cthulhu could look like if it's like teasing you with its scariness. Like these just look like tentacles or something, and I love it. I love braided Sansevieria, or Sansevieria cylindrica. Although I don't like it in the braids. I take it out of the braids because I feel like I'm being mean to it if I leave it braided. I don't know if there's any basis on that, but that's how I feel. Just sea monster vibes, Cthulhu-esque, and that's why I picked it. Purple Oxalis. So I just recently acquired this one. I got it in a trade, so it's kind of like Oxalis. I'm not the best at taking care of it. I have a green version, and it's doing pretty well, but it does lose like leaves a lot because I think I let it dry out too much. But I wanted this so bad because black is a favorite color, purple is a favorite color. Those were actually the theme, like the color theme of my husband's and I wedding. It was black and purple. I would have worn a black wedding dress if it wouldn't have killed my mother and my grandmother. I succumbed to peer pressure. But I would have worn one. It would have been badass. It would have been so great. Purple Oxalis, this deep purple color is just beautiful. And then it just looks, I think oxalis, they're so interesting, but they're also kind of creepy. Like how they just look like this. They're so like wiry and just made me feel Halloweeny, and that's why I picked that one. I have another plant that reminded me of like a Halloween monster. This is a Hoya Velosa cow dang, and it has very textured leaves, and it reminds me of Frankenstein. Like, it reminds me of the dinosaur, but it also, when I was like thinking of plants to choose, I was going through my collection, and I was like, this could really look like Frankenstein's skin, like because he's made of a dead person. Like, I would just imagine it to feel kind of coarse and textured, and I don't know if you get that from this. The leaves are also fuzzy at the bottom. I don't imagine Frankenstein to be fuzzy, at least how he is portrayed in horror movies. Maybe the top of his head, I don't know, but that's where I was going with this one. And it's just a beautiful Hoya. I love touching the bottom of the leaves because they're fuzzy. But maybe I should nickname him Frankie for Frankenstein. Or do you want to be Frankie? I haven't named this guy yet. And then I think, yeah, I just have one more of the official list. I have some honorable mentions. Okay, official list is this euphorbia. Again, I don't know what kind of euphorbia it is because there are many kinds. If you know, please leave a comment and tell me, because I would love to know. I'm sure I could look it up on Google, but I've had it for about 2 years and I haven't done it yet. So I appreciate it if you let me know. But again, this one, I picked it because it's a darker green. It has spikes. So it reminded me, yeah, like, again, like kind of a mohawk. Or it could be, again, like, it looks very castle-esque. Like, these could be the spires, and then the spires could have spikes, because if you try to like swing in and go on a spire, you're just gonna be spiked and die. All right, but that's where the inspiration to use this plant. Also, it gets very beautiful red coloring as well, and it's a beautiful plant. And it reminded me, again, of a Gothic castle. I would live in a castle that looked like this. I would. I love this guy. He's so cool. Yes, I wanted to do some honorable mentions. Some that I was like, oh yeah, that gives me like a vibe of goth Halloween, Gothic architecture, but like I didn't want to drag this on too long. So first is this Chrysula watch chain. Reminds me of Medusa's hair. It's just all crazy like that. And then one time, like I like how I'm petting it right now, I kind of like swept against it, and it was like I ran through a spider web. I hate that feeling. So I just thought it was appropriate. And I just like playing with this plant. If you can't tell, I'm like touching it everywhere. I don't know exactly if it fits in the theme of the video, but it reminds me of Medusa's hair. So I included it. And that's why it's an honorable mention and not part of the main roster. It's a pickle plant. I don't know the actual name. If I find out, I will write it down here. But this one also just gives like it's a very textured like skin. Like it reminds me if it was the monster movie with the lagoon. I hope you know what I'm talking about. It's the monster movie with the lagoon. It reminds me of the sea monster, that his skin would be like this, and also this is just a weird boy. Like, he's growing all crazy. I appreciate it. So like this one has grown so much, this one has grown so much, and this one, it's like done nothing. Weird. But also why it's an honorable mention and not part of the main roster. But still very cool. And then last. is this spiky boy. The tag is in the back. I'm going to attempt to pronounce the name. Wish me luck. Malaria, Elongata, Ladyfinger. That sounds like a disease or like a sickness. Maybe because like I pronounced it like malaria. Moving on. I picked this plant because it is a super cool, it's a super cool color. It's like a reddish hue, very dark, it's spiky, and I just thought it fit in pretty well with the theme. Now, I don't know why I didn't include it in the main list. Whatever. Thank you for joining me as I went through some of my Gothic inspired plants. Gothic inspired plants. Thank you again to Pam for thinking of this video. It's awesome. I love it. I have watched your video a couple times, mostly because the begonias that you show in there are really cool and I just can't have begonias. And it makes me sad. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this now. And I don't like doing it in the beginning, but please, if you enjoyed this video, give me a comment, give me a like, or give me a subscribe. It'd be super awesome of you, but you don't have to. Just do what you want. Okay, that's it. Have a great Halloween. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Smash the patriarchy. Cheers. Bye. Kitty, you're so loud, but you're so cute.